What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here bringing another video. Today I'm bringing you a video on Power Rangers Dino Supercharged episode 12. Today's video is talking about the new episode, which is called Catching Some Rays. Interesting episode overall. Not the greatest villain, but good episode. It focuses a lot around Coda, which is cool, and also the ending is pretty interesting and important. Let's go into it. So what happens is that this episode, it's a typical episode. They're basically just, doing their own thing, working when they need to in the cafe. And the thing is that Kendall's grandmother comes to visit, and she is there to bring Kendall something as like a little present, which is something that we'll get to. But then at the same time, Tyler and Coda are like talking about a new water hose that they're going to use to clean dishes, and there's a whole entire scene with them trying to deal with that, and then Jima Betty, which is Kendall's grandmother, comes in and manages to stop the water from going everywhere. Afterwards, Jima Betty ends up giving Kendall this lens, this huge lens. It's supposed to be some ancient, mysterious lens, and the thing is that she's interested in it, but she doesn't think it's worth putting in the museum for any reason. Thing is that Coda looks at it, recognizes it, and begins to think, why do I know this? He ends up hearing from her that, like Jima Betty, where it was found or whatever, and they end up going to where that was, and end up finding out that where they found it was Coda's original home from 100,000 years ago. So huge deal. Of course, they go there. They see all the different images and paintings on the walls, and I forgot to turn off our alarm. So that happens sometimes. Anyway, what ends up happening is that they end up going there. They end up learning things about like Coda's grandfather and like how he was this major man that was a huge deal, and he was respected greatly and all that, very strong, very important. And the thing was that there was a certain location in the cave that he couldn't go to, Coda, because he was prevented from going to because there was a monster or something like that was in there. So they actually end up going through it because his grandfather's not alive anymore at this point. So they thought, why not? Goes in, ends up I think it might have been like Chase and Ivan remove this gigantic bone. When they remove the bone, a monster is unleashed. This monster is like referred to as Leisure, I think it is. It's a female monster, and it's like this weird, crazy, like, Hawaiian monster. It's like a crab, and it's like sandcastle or a few other things combined together. And the thing is that it uses its ability to go towards the sun and shoot its rays down and make people, want to soak up the sun and be all leisure and lazy and, just have fun. And so it changes them, including the Rangers, except for Coda and Kendall, since Coda realizes that the way to avoid it is to go where there's no sunlight, which is the cave. So they go there, and the thing is that then when they have to go back to the base, they use raincoats to protect them from the sun rays. They go back to the base, end up looking at the lens, trying to figure out things, because they end up finding out from the images and all that they use the lens somehow to deal with the monster. That's how his grandfather had dealt with it. So they end up going back there, end up creating a special lens that could be, enhanced and done well. And the thing is that they end up realizing, Ken ends up realizing that the only person that can help her in this case is Jima. So what happens is that she ends up speaking to Jima Betty. Jima Betty ends up suggesting adding a secondary lens, which ends up being one of her eyeglass lenses, acts as the secondary lens, which allows the ability to stop this effect on the people. Meantime, though, prior to this, you have Heckle, who's not very happy with what's going on, because this monster is like the twin sister of another monster, and the thing is that it's causing trouble and all that. And the thing is that Poisandra and Curio go to have like this leisure time and then try to steal the energems, but they still are defensive, and that's something that stays true all the way through in a lot of episodes where they try to distract them or do something like that. They're always guarding it very well, which is good. So then all that ends up happening, and eventually, after all that is done, you end up seeing, like, what do you call it? I'm just trying to remember now. They end up being fixed. Coda ends up fighting the monster, and eventually they're restored back to normal. Following all that, they have your final battle moments and all that. And the big deal also with Jima Betty is the fact that, like, she's very resourceful, but, like, Kendall is of a superior intellect as well, and so she doesn't really resort to her grandmother as much, even though her grandmother is just as brilliant. But, like, this was her one situation where she was like, I actually need your help, and it was a big deal. And the thing is that it's like it was like this sweet moment of, like, I always cared about you, I always thought you were brilliant or whatever, and it was just like this nice heart warming moment that, like, is just really just a nice moment as a whole. So, like, that all happened and it was interesting. Then they're scolded, Poisandra and Curio, which is interesting. Then also at the end of the episode, you end up seeing them talking to the Silver Ranger about, sending all the Megazord and Zord information, because he's going to try to deal with the Dark Energy Gem, since that is, like, the source of all this evil power and all this stuff. And the Dark Energy Gem refers to what we are believing as the Talon Ranger, although thing is that I've heard rumors that he might not be appearing, even though people have said he will. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't really know anything for sure, but it's like, we'll have to wait and see. This was in a short, quick sum of the overall episode. There was extra details here and there, but, like, for the most part, I've covered most of it. There was a fight with Sledge. Not Sledge, no. What am I saying? Sledge did not show up yet. Hasn't returned yet. There's a fight with Fury. There was a fight with a monster. Coda got to use the super drive mode to fight the monster, which is important. It was good for adding more to Coda's story, which is always important to add more to character stories. We're in the later half of the season, but, like, we're not at the final 3 episodes where it's gonna get real interesting. We're like building up, so soon enough we should be getting the Silver Ranger finally to show up, which is what I'm looking forward to finally seeing. But it hasn't happened yet, at least in America. In other countries it has, but here no. So episode 12 was an interesting episode overall. I'd love to know your guys' opinions. Do you guys think that this episode was good, bad? What was something that, like, interested you, and what are you looking forward to most? Is there something that hasn't happened yet that you want to see? I know we've been getting a lot of, like, filler episodes. Like, this was a clear filler. There was nothing, like, new other than just adding more to the story of Coda. Like, is there something else that, like, you hope happens that isn't just like a filler? Like, what would you hope to see next? Leave your comments below. I wish I was able to post these episodes faster, but due to where I am and due to situations, I haven't been able to. Also, if you haven't noticed, I added posters recently, so that is nice, and I'm very happy about that, to the room. I'm gonna probably adjust them a little lower just because I see that they're not perfect here. One's the Guardians of the Galaxy poster, the other is an Assassin's Creed poster, which you can't even tell it's Assassin's Creed, but it is, for the new movie. So overall, a really cool episode. Short, like, nothing super thrilling, but cool to say the least, just because I love Yoshi. So yeah, Yoshi Stun's the actor who plays Coda, so that's great, and just in general he's a great character and a really cool actor. Anyway, this was a nice episode. I'd love to know your guys' opinions again. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye, guys.